covering the world of professional wrestling from coast to coast. A show by members of the Busted Open Nation. Welcome to the Nation's Corner. Here are your hosts, the Nation's Corner crew.
What's going on, Nation?
What's up?
Welcome to the Nation's Corner. I'm your host, Tony Frickin' Justice. And I am blessed to have with me today our very own Mongrovian Mike. What's going on, Mongrovian? How you doing?
What's up, my brother? How we doing, people? Steven, R.A., Tony. How's it going? I was at the wrestling show today,
Cheers.
and now I'm on the show. So cheers.
Boom. Cheers. Good deal. We've also got R.A. Davis with us tonight. How you doing, R.A.?
Doing all right. How's everybody else doing?
Oh, you know, making it. I'm making it in Beaver. I'm in Beaver right now.
Yeah.
Oh.
Always good times had in Beaver.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, we also have Stephen Wyand with us. Stephen, how you doing, brother?
I am doing fantastic. What is going on? I'm so excited to be on here with you once again, everybody, talking about the world of wrestling. And last week, I was in Ocean City, Maryland for Bike Fest and a little bit of concerts last week, and it was awesome. So let's go.
That's cool, man. You're always doing something concert related.
If I ain't drumming, if I ain't playing music, I'm going to hear music, man. Like, there's nothing like a live show, man. I mean, last week was awesome. I mean, Jacko and Disturbed play on Thursday, and they rocked it. And Friday was a little bit of a country night because Travis Tritt and Zach Brown Band tore the house down. And let me tell you, if you've never been to a Zach Brown Band show, go experience that, because even though they are labeled as a country act, but their musicianship in that band is top notch. And then Saturday was Chevelle and Godsmack, and Chevelle was pretty good, but Godsmack just tore the house down. I mean, Shannon Larkin is pound for pound one of the best rock drummers of all time, and just his energy and that dueling drum solo with him and Celiana never gets old live. I mean, they drummed, you know, with each other and just played the same identical rhythm patterns and stuff, and then after the big drum solo, they threw in a little snippet of Walk This Way and Back in Black and Enter Sandman and Moby Dick from Led Zeppelin and Rush's Tom Sawyer. It was fantastic. What a fantastic weekend in Ocean City. And not also was the music great, but also what was also great was their food. The food in Ocean City, I know Deb can vouch for this. The food in Ocean City, Maryland is absolutely fan-freaking-tastic. You will not find a single bad spot to have some good food there. Like, their food is really good everywhere you go.
Yeah. I haven't had the chance to go to Deb goes every year. That's her happy place. Shout out to Deb out there. But yeah, I'm glad you got to go to Ocean City. Yeah, Deb knows what we're talking about. Mongrovian, I know you've been going to some shows here lately. Some wrestling shows.
Oh my God, yeah, we've been to a few shows, but I just want to say as a side note, I love the way Steve lights up when he's talking about his music, because I don't know, I Chad and him as much fun. It's a great, even if they say I could give a crap about, but it's still cool. And they have fun at their rock roll concerts. But yeah, I've been to a VP Pro Wrestling show today. It was a fundraiser at AmVets, and they did very well. They auctioned off a lot of like baskets of liquor and everything, but I didn't partake in those. I just went for the wrestling, hung out with some of the crew there. Yeah, hung out with some of the crew, and everybody can look forward to the future on this show, because I'm lining up a few interviews we'll have with some really cool independent wrestlers, independent promoters, and independent ring announcers even, because we want to find out everything about the business, all the positive things that go on. And I especially want to talk to the ring announcer, because he said, especially today, what brought him joy was seeing the little kids there. He's like, that was really cool, and he's a cool guy. So a shout out to Sexy Ryan, the ring announcer for VPW and the ring announcer for Creative Pro Wrestling. He's got his own fan base. He's probably going to be making his own T-shirts on Pro Tees, and talk to the Even Stevens, my boys. They will get the belts again one day. Talk to Jack Tomlinson. He's going to be coming on the show later. We're going to be getting Leo Sparrow back on soon. We'll be getting a few people, Dante Drago, and just a bunch of Doc Lee is on the show very soon. With Bully at Creator Wildlife a few weeks ago. And, it's going to be fun talking to some of these guys, and that's that. That's all. That's nothing we can do about it.
That's that, and there's nothing we can do about it.
Exactly.
You, Mongrovian, you kind of throughout your discussion, you were kind of cutting in and out. And here's how well I know you. I know you so well that at the beginning, when you started talking about Steven lighting up when he's talking about music, and then you started clipping when you started talking about Chad and his musical taste and bands that you don't care about. That's how well I know you, because that's what you were talking about. I think.
Yeah, my microphone. Yeah, my microphone was made by a millennial, so it got a receipt on Chad.
Awesome.
You got that right. You got that right, you son of a bitch.
Love you, Chad.
All right, how you been doing this week, brother? I know you just celebrated a birthday this week.
Yeah, me and Front Row both had a birthday.
Yeah,
Thursday.
happy belated to you in Front Row. Yeah.
Thank you.
Y'all have a birthday on the same day. It's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm having problems with the chat, so I'm not able to see the chat over here on the right hand side like I normally would. So I would be highlighting people talking in the live chat. So I'm going to do my best at looking at my other handy device over here and reading out some of y'all's chat.
You said handy.
I would like to get y'all involved in our discussion today, because yesterday on Busted Open, Dave LaGreca and Thunder Rosa had a great show yesterday talking about the bright side of the ring, the positive side of pro wrestling. All the time we're hearing negativity in the dirt sheets, negativity going on everywhere in our own lives. So it's nice to turn on the radio and hear a show that was positive, that it was just filled with positivity. And I'm hearing all sorts of reviews on the show from yesterday and how everybody enjoyed it. So I wanted to commend Thunder Rosa and Dave for having a great show yesterday on Bright Side of the Ring. And I would like to continue that conversation today. So y'all in the live chat, feel free. Anything that y'all have got going on in your lives that's positive that you want to shout out or you want to tell us about in the live chat, feel free. And I'll do my best to read it on the air while we're doing our show.
Brian just joined the live chat.
What's up, Brian? I see Front Row in the live chat. Steve, Neil. Neil is a sharp-dressed man right now, for those that can't see him.
Steve?
Neil is at a wedding or going to a wedding today, and he's looking spiffy. He is styling and profiling. Woo woo! So
there out running around.
Yeah,
you'll get some league tonight for sure. Tell us how you do.
I see Hijacker hanging out there. What's up, Hijacker?
One of Steven's co-hosts on the sports show,
Yeah.
Joseph Thornton's in the chat.
Joey, what's up, brother?
Yeah. Hijacker's team got lucky today, but we're going to the playoffs still. Don't worry, bro.
Playoffs? You're going to the playoffs? You kidding me? Playoffs? I just thought the Mets can win a playoff game.
They will.
At least they made the playoffs.
So yeah, anything y'all want to talk about in the live chat, feel free. And at the end of the show today, we're going to go into our positive chat on what we have got to add on to the positive chat, the positivity. So yeah, this week in pro wrestling was a busy week. We had on Raw this past Monday, you had a QR code floating around the crowd, and which is very innovative, very very creative. And the QR code was floating around, and you could get your phone out and snatch the image, and it takes you to a website. And it was a game of Hangman. And RA, keep me honest. What did the screen say on the Hangman game? Didn't it say who killed the world or something like that?
Yeah, who killed the world? And the first thing, what it spelled out before it spelled out correctly, the letters it selected, if anybody noticed, it spelled out demon. The first 5 letters it picked was demon.
Yeah.
Before it said you
And
did.
you did. And then it gave a date, 9/23. So, you know,
9:23 and then the time 9:23. It flashed back and forth.
Yeah. So last night was 9/23, and I'm going to skip forward and talk about what happened on last night with the QR code, because the QR code came out again, and I wasn't able to watch SmackDown last night because of my app had problems. So someone that watched last night, tell us what the QR code said last night.
It took you to a game where you had to play through, and then at the end of the game, it popped up, ended up giving you coordinates, GPS coordinates to the location of Raw next week.
Yeah. And
Wow.
I actually saw the coordinates. I saw the coordinates last night in Discord, and so I Googled a GPS thing that gave latitude and longitude, and I put all the numbers in, plugged them in, and it showed Alberta,
Canada.
Alberta, Canada, site of Raw coming up Monday night. So I'm
And
pretty sure
also,
we're gonna have another.
and an added note to that, they put flyers on everybody's car with the coordinates as well, and the rabbit.
Huh.
And the cars in the parking lot all had flyers with the coordinates.
Insane.
That is awesome.
Wow.
They are going very in on this White Rabbit thing, and I'm pretty sure because the coordinates led to Rogers Place, Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, the side of Raw coming up Monday night, and I'm pretty sure we're going to have other breadcrumbs.
Yep.
It's just they're trickling down these breadcrumbs until the return of who we think is Bray Wyatt at an upcoming pay-per-view. I feel like it's going to happen at a pay-per-view when he comes back.
I think it's going to be at Extreme Rules in Philadelphia.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I do too.
I mean, the Easter eggs that they're doing, it's like back in the day with the video games back then, how like the first Mortal Kombat video game and that came out in 92, that there was these little cryptic Easter eggs that if you wanted to fight like Reptile, you had to do specific tasks to get to him. Like you had to get a double flawless victory, perform a fatality, and boom, there you were fighting Reptile. But the key was you could not use block during the fight on the pit stage and all that stuff. So it was really cool how they did that. And what WWE is doing now, since the Triple H has taken over, him and Stephanie have like these little Easter eggs that they're doing. This is, to my recollection, this has not been done in WWE at all. This is so cool. This is so creative.
The closest thing to it was when Jericho came back.
That's right. Yeah. Yep. Jericho was the only one that did those cryptic things.
Or maybe the GTV could be thrown in that.
Maybe.
But that's very iffy.
But Jericho is the best example because I mean Jericho. The whole commercial spots that he did and all that stuff and got you thinking, the new millennium, Y2J, what the hell is that? And then there he is, Chris Jericho, and cut that epic promo. And I'm honestly expecting, if it is Bray Wyatt and we think it's Bray Wyatt, I think that it's not going to happen that night. I think it's going to happen the next night on Raw, where he will come out and cut an epic promo, whatever. But whoever it is, I'm excited. We're all excited because, man, WWE is just knocking it out of the park since Triple H and Stephanie have taken over WWE.
Absolutely, bro. What about Canada though? I mean, something crazy might happen there because of the way that the Canadians react to things, and you never know what that crowd and that crowd would
Canadian
be
crowds
super
are very
popped.
Yep.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Ari.
Front Row pointed out in the chat there was 3 words also on that last clue. There was Demon was on the first one, then Cole spelled Coal, not LE.
Michael
so
Cole?
it's not Adam Cole. And patricide were used in the teasers. They are all references to 3 ancient devils that extract revenge for moral crimes.
Interesting. Wow.
Yeah, and Steve adds he's still looking for the GTV QR codes. Steve, if you're still looking for those, I'm sorry, bro. I don't know if you're ever going to get a payoff on that. But but yeah, they're just being very clever with this. And all right, you mentioned something the other night on Zoom. Go ahead and share with us what you told us about the live action Firefly Fun.
Well, there's a theory going around that the White Rabbit is already present on Raw. The White Rabbit, of course, being Karrion Kross. But what if the White Rabbit was actually the Wyatt Rabbit, the rabbit from the Wyatt family, the Wyatt Funhouse?
Firefly Funhouse.
So you've got
Bray
as the rabbit, Scarlet as Abigail, Braun as the pig, Huskus, and then you have Dexter Loomis as Mercy, the buzzard.
That's interesting. That's very interesting. I saw
a live action new faction, live action Funhouse.
Yeah.
I'd like to break in. Yeah, David Mitchell says, happy birthday to everyone that has had a birthday this week. That's our very own Fro. Who else did we have? Todd?
Yep, Todd had a birthday the other, I think it was like Monday or Tuesday.
And Brian has a birthday Tuesday.
And Ashley has one Monday.
That's right. And our very own Ashley, yes.
Yeah, we're getting overpowered with birthdays.
Front Row said it's a
happy
crazy month.
Everyone.
Yeah. Put the names out there, Front Row.
For someone born in September, that just means, 9 months ago, they had a good year.
They were ringing in the new year the right way.
Yeah.
9 months ago, their dad scored.
Home run!
F-wipe.
Oh, man. Good job, man.
Good job, Elder.
So yeah, I'm interested to see how this is all playing out with the White Rabbit. Tune in Monday night because we're gonna get more clues. And I'm pretty sure all of us in here and all of us on Zoom are gonna be trying to figure it out. So and shout out to everyone on the Discord as well for putting on their detective hats and trying to figure it out as well. I know Ryan M, he's been hard at work on it. I saw him in the Discord last night doing all sorts of investigations. So that was cool to see. So shout out to all y'all.
I know Busted Open's Andre. Ooh, Andre was doing the same thing too.
We need the tarot cards back on Zoom, Andre. If you're watching, we know. So So anyhow, also something else happened last weekend that we totally missed. We had Mission Pro Welcome to the Jungle last weekend, and we have a new Mission Pro Wrestling Women's World Heavyweight Champion, and that is Genocide. So congratulations to Genocide. From your fellow Muscle Army member over here. I know Front Row is a member and RA is a member. Yeah, so shout out to Genocide for winning the championship. May you have a long and plentiful title reign. So anyway, so Welcome to the Jungle quickly it was awesome. The triple threat double casket match. I don't think it's ever been done in the history of independent or professional wrestling. And our names are attached to that match because we helped Sean donated the caskets, and Sean is part of us. And shout out to Sean out there. And it was a really good feeling to be attached to that match. So want to thank everyone involved with that. Brian, thank you, man. Thunder,
Brian.
everyone at Mission Pro. That was a great stamp, y'all. And y'all killed it. Wode and Kylan King. Y'all were just amazing in that match. But Genocide come out on top, so congratulations, Genocide. So yeah. So we had AEW Grand Slam this week at Arthur Ashe Stadium. And I've never been to Arthur Ashe Stadium, but I can tell you just by watching on TV how that stadium is just unique and how the seats are. I mean, it's like you look in the ring and you see when they look up like that, they're looking up to the people. I mean, it's awesome.
Set up like amphitheaters are set up.
Yeah.
Is that's so the
it's
sound
it's
can...
set up for tennis. Yeah, but it's set up.
Yeah.
It's set up for tennis. So that's
for viewing of the tennis.
That they're in the Arthur Ashe Stadium. That's the same place where the U.S. Open plays, and where they play. That's just crazy over there. And right across the street is Citi Field, so it's going to be a crazy time. If they come back here and it's a baseball game and tennis, I went to the one time and there was so much stuff going on. Plus the people, it's a park. It's in Flushing Meadows Park. So there's people there all day playing soccer and picnic and bike riding. So it's a real big, it's a big day. If you ever plan to go early and tailgate there.
And the acoustic
It'd be much
there,
worth it.
From the acoustics there, from what we can tell through our TV screens, they sound fantastic in there. Like, just like everything is crystal clear, and like the crowd was just at a fever pitch at times. Like that, especially for that main event with Moxley and Danielson. Like that crowd was, and especially for the Acclaimed. I mean, good Lord, are they so over? So over is the Acclaimed.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And I met Max Cat too. He's another quality wrestler. Is that that organization and Smart Mark Sterling.
Yeah. The Acclaimed. That was one of the moments of the night, Wednesday night, when they won those tag championships. Of course, you knew it was coming. It could have happened at All Out of how much the people were behind the Acclaimed, but I guess
the pop in New York was just as loud too. But I really really wanted it to be in Chicago because, like, they were so loud that I think, like, not saying they weren't as loud that Wednesday night in New York, but I really think that it still worked because the pop was tremendous. But I really think at All Out they really could have they really missed an opportunity. At crowding them that night. But Steve, Steven, I do agree with Steve's point. But I do agree with Steve's point that he said that they weren't ready at that time. So he has a great point about that. So
but don't forget that. Don't forget Bowens is from Jersey and Max Caster is from New York. So And
That's right. That's right. And you want that
it's a
hometown,
really
that
good
hometown
thing.
pop. Exactly.
And I just remembered that story that Dave told about when Max Caster worked the soundboards and production and everything at Sirius, and there were people that told him he, looked down at him and said he was never going to do it. Well, here's to you some bitches. Recognize wrestling and recognize fucking Busted Open and David fucking LaGreca. Damn it.
Listen.
Recognize. Hey, yo, listen.
Listen.
Yo.
Yeah, what he said. So, yeah. So, and also another moment from Wednesday night, we have a new AEW World Heavyweight Champion, and his name is Jon Moxley.
Again.
But we're probably going to see John have this belt for a while.
I hope so. I really hope so. Because my thing is,
thinks he can. Elder just thinks he can slip out whenever he wants, I guess.
I'm not Mongrovian. I'm Mongrovian Elrod.
Damn right you are, you silly bastard.
But yeah, I believe we're going to see that belt parked on Jon Moxley for a while. It needs to be, because that belt needs to be built back up as a credible, because it's just been tossed around like a hot potato here lately with all the injuries and the interims and all the. I mean, come on, that AEW needs to do away with the interim. Period.
I'm done. I'm absolutely done with the interim crap. Like it's got to go. It's got to go.
And I understand why they were doing it, because it was different at the time, but it got old really quick because they had to do it back to back to back to back.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, so it got old really quick. If it was occasionally, I could understand, but it got old real quick. Just go back to vacating it, do a tournament like they did, and there you go.
Yeah.
If you could vacate the world title and the trios tag team championship belts, then you could do the same thing with these other belts. You know, like it doesn't make any bit of sense. And I hope
that could be the precedent for change after the whole stripping Punk and Omega and the Bucks of the titles. Now there's not going to be an interim; it's going to be stripping.
Yep.
Or vacating.
I hope that's the case, because honestly, I know we're looking for MJF to get this belt, but I want this to be prolonged as much as possible. If it were me, I would do it at Double or Nothing next year in Vegas.
That's something to think about.
It is. And they need to give Moxley a lengthy title reign, because the only lengthy title reign that he had was his first reign when he beat Jericho at All Out in 2020, or excuse me, Revolution in Chicago in 2020.
Yeah. But it was Jon Moxley versus Bryan Danielson. A couple of members of the BCC going toe to toe with each other. And honestly, I could have saw Bryan Danielson winning the championship. To be honest, I wouldn't have been mad at that either. Because Bryan Danielson is well deserving to be a champion as well. I just think there's another story to be told. I think with Chris Jericho winning the Ring of Honor World Championship, which he won that on Wednesday as well. He beat Claudio Castagnoli for the Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Championship with Kerry Silken, friend of the show, Kerry Silken, there at ringside, and he got attacked by Jericho. Jericho did a lot of dishonorable things during that match to win that championship. So there's a story to be told with that. You've got the belt parked on Chris Jericho, who gets eyes. Let's just be honest, he gets eyes. And if Ring of Honor is looking for a TV deal, well, there you go. Your World Heavyweight Champion is someone.
Exactly. Perfect point, Tony. Perfect freaking point. Because for the ROH faithful, I'm sorry. I mean, we love ROH, and I do too. But you know what? It's off Sinclair. We don't have to look for it at 3 a.m. They need someone to come back to bring the on. That would be the story going forward, and that will bring eyeballs to that TV set.
Yeah.
With a star like
Yeah.
you need.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you need that. Let me just say while I'm at it, David Mitchell out there says the interim title was crap to begin with. They should have stripped the title, then give the person stripped first shot upon their return. That sounds more logical to me.
Yep.
That's the way
Yeah.
it's always been. I mean,
Yeah. And let's not forget
traditionally,
that
that's the
Cody
way
was the
titles were
first.
done.
Let's not forget
Yep.
Cody was the first
Yep.
interim champ.
Yep.
TNT champion. Yep.
Or I mean
yeah.
Sammy. Sammy was.
Sammy. Yep. Sammy was. Yep.
Oh, Sammy was.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
And then him and Cody had that ladder match in Cleveland.
Actually,
That's
actually did
That's
it three times in a year. 3 times in a year.
Mm-hmm.
It's too much. Too much.
Yeah. So there are some stories to be told with Chris Jericho winning the Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Championship. We get to see the pushback from the match and what kind
It's
of
the Ocho.
the Ocho, yeah. Hashtag Ocho for all you hashtaggers out there. You also have a storyline that's building up inside the Jericho Appreciation Society with Daniel Garcia and Chris Jericho. They're both champions within the Jericho Appreciation Society. Daniel Garcia is your Ring of Honor pure. What is it called? The pure.
Pure. Yep, you're right.
Pure.
Correct. Yep, pure
Ring of Honor pure champion.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Chris Jericho is the World Heavyweight Champion.
Yep.
But Garcia was trying to say something to Chris
Yeah.
during that interview, and Chris was like, "No, we're going to celebrate. You can tell me later."
Yeah. There's some dissension building up. It's been building up for a few weeks now.
Yep.
I feel like I just have a funny feeling that Daniel Garcia is going to wind up in the Blackpool Combat Club before long. I feel like something's brewing there. We just got to keep our eyes on AEW television to see what's going to happen. But they are, you know how we've been saying for some time that AEW is not, they're not doing a very good job of telling stories lately. But this story here,
they have
is doing good. So,
what if time? What if the reason they're doing with Daniel Garcia having the belt and the dissension between him and Jericho, who has the Ring of Honor belt, that's eventually going to do a match between the two of them where it pulls the belt off of Chris and puts it on Garcia and unifies the Ring of Honor and the Pure title as one title.
I'm thinking kind of deeper in this story because just hear me out. Jericho started the Jericho Appreciation Society, the they took on that sports entertainment thing. I think it's a storyline that Chris is trying to tell where it's the IWC and the AEW, super fans and ROH super fans, and then the WWE sports entertainment fans, and kind of bringing them together. And Daniel Garcia is the lightning rod because, hey, I grew up idolizing Chris Jericho, who is the epitome of sports entertainment in wrestling, if there ever was one.
The epitome of sports entertainers.
Yeah, he's a sports entertainer. And then you have Daniel Brian Danielson, Daniel Bryanson, whatever his name is this month. He I know his name. I'll just mess with everybody. He is like your pure wrestler. Like everybody was like the ROH wrestler. They loved him. They got behind him with that yes movement because everyone on the upper echelons of WWE was saying no. So now this is Daniel Garcia is that fan being torn. And he's just like, hey, man, fuck this shit. I love everything. It's wrestling. Maybe that's the story that I'm getting out of it. And I'm becoming a big fan of Daniel.
Yeah. Yeah, he's had some wars in there with Bryan Danielson and I think even Jon Moxley. I don't know if he's wrestled him yet or not, but he's had some wars. And so I think it's building up. because one of the rules to join Blackpool Combat Club was that you got to bleed together. And Daniel Garcia has done that. He's done that a few times. So interesting to see what's going to happen with all that. So AEW Grand Slam was a great night. So that takes to SmackDown Friday night, last night. The opening segment of SmackDown was the Bloodline standing strong in the ring. Go ahead, Ari.
That's Rampage. Sorry. No, I'm thinking Grand Slam was both Dynamite and Rampage, so I'm thinking ahead of myself. Go ahead.
Yeah. The Bloodline, I enjoyed seeing the Bloodline standing strong in the ring last night. That was amazing, amazing shot of them standing strong in the ring. Everyone there, just a presence in the ring. Heyman with
Tony, that was strength beyond strength, brother.
Yeah.
Stronger than all.
Good Pantera reference there, Steven. But yeah, I enjoyed that last night, seeing them in the ring, and the whole interaction with Roman Reigns when they were getting ready to leave. Roman said his piece on the mic. They hit the music, and then Sami Zayn asked for them to cut the music, and I thought immediately, oh crap, here it is, because we know it's coming. We know the time is coming where they're going to exile Sami Zayn, and in walks Kevin Owens, and it's going to be a war with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn versus the Usos. You know what's happening, but they, Sami Zayn was saying that he wanted to acknowledge the tribal chief, and Roman just in his cool, calm, and collect character that he has now, which I love, by the way. I love Roman Reigns as a heel right now. His character is amazing. Just saying, well, you shouldn't be talking right now. In fact, I mean, why are you wearing that shirt? Why are you wearing that Bloodline shirt? And you saw the look on Sammy's face. The crowd was reacting. And I said it last night on Zoom while we were all watching. I said, this is testing the waters to when this finally does happen, when Sammy does get exiled. They wanted to get the feel the crowd out, and Roman told Sammy to take off the shirt, and then I don't know which one it was, Jimmy or Jay. It's the one that doesn't like Sammy. He's in the background like, take off the shirt, just like he is like a dog being held back on a chain.
Take it off.
And so
and Jay ripping it.
They rip his shirt down. And then Roman says, here, I got you another shirt just to him. And it just that whole thing, that whole segment was amazing. I mean, that was a way to start off SmackDown last night. What do y'all think about it?
I loved it. I absolutely loved it. It was incredible. I mean, just like Paul Heyman is a genius, and Roman, this right here, this run in the past 2 years, almost 2.5 years, or 2 years, excuse me, Roman has had the best run in his entire career with this gimmick and this character. And I really, truly think that this is going to put him as a Hall of Famer, because this run, as not only champion, but his promo skills, his acting is incredible, out of this world, insanely good. I mean, he has that cool, I'm a badass, I got that swagger about me. I know I'm cool. I know I'm bad. I'm nationwide. I'm the tribal chief, and
good ZZ Top reference, by the way.
Yes. That's what I do, baby. And just Roman is just so cool, right now with that charisma, the attitude, and man, he is making this championship a much needed fresh air in the WWE, because he is making this world title special, because every time that championship belt is defended, it is a special occasion. It's not defended every week. It's defended on certain occasions, and Roman is bringing credibility back to a world championship. And that's what the WWE is getting right, is their championship belts now. Hey, what do you know? They actually mean something.
Yes, exactly. That segment was just it was absolutely perfect. That whole segment was perfect, just like David Mitchell says. Front Row says that was Hollywood level cinematic storytelling. Sammy is a generational talent, and I agree. And I tell everybody, you should go back and watch that first scene. You could tell when it's good because when there's like 6, 7, 8 of us on Zoom, and we all shut the hell up and we're just watching. We're watching the show. That's how you could tell. Because otherwise, if it was just that formulaic, we'd be talking over it. But that was perfect. Everybody watch.
Yep.
Sammy, watch Paul, watch Jay, and watch the other Usos. Watch Joe, watch Jimmy, and Solo, and
Watch
it's
Jay
just
and Jay.
perfect. And you talk about Roman. He knows when to just shut up and just like you know what? He's finally got that Rock presence where he knows where just to sit there and not sniff the air because that's what the Rock's deal. He's sitting there just like raising his chin, sticking his chest out. Yes, it's about time you all mofos acknowledge me. Acknowledge me.
Yep. Right. All right. What do you think about it?
Oh, it was a fantastic segment. I mean, the facials from Sammy, the expressions like, oh shit, I'm kicked, what's going on here?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. And they took
then
you
to find out, he's getting the old Brer, the bloodline shirt anymore. And then
a whole
Jay's
roller coaster
reaction,
ride, right, bro?
The only one of the group, Jay in the background is thinking, man, I really wanted to kick this dude's ass.
Yeah. Right. He is chomping at the bit to his ass.
Yeah. I think on a side note, the day that Jay accepts him and does that handshake, that's the day, or soon after, where it ends for Sammy. And one of the ideas I had, we talked about it on Zoom, the ending of The Godfather 2, after Michael Corleone has everyone whacked out. There's no Barzini, and Carlo goes for the ride, and he's sitting in that room. Just imagine that's Roman sitting there at the head of the table, and around you see Jay and Solo, and then you see Solo. Remember at the end of The Godfather where Michael looks, where his consigliere looks and sees his wife looking in, Kate's looking in, and he walks over and just closes the door. Kate is going to be Sammy outside that door, and you're going to see Solo walk over or Paul Heyman walk over and just slowly close the door, and that's it. Then he's out on the boat with, fishing with Fredo.
Yep. So yeah, SmackDown was a great show last night. Wanted to get into Liv Morgan's, I guess you'd call it a heel turn. I don't know what you'd call it.
Would you call it a double turn? I mean, because
you could.
Because Lacey was the heel going into that, and Liv was the face.
Yeah, I understand that.
Liv did a heel to Lacey, which why would the face do? Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead, Tony.
I understand that a baby face like Liv is getting tired of, being counted out, basically like, she's just a transitional champion. She's going to lose it to Ronda coming up. She sees all the negativity going on about her on social media and all that. And so she wants to prove herself, especially when she's about to have a match at Extreme Rules against Ronda Rousey, who's already declared that to be her funeral. So basically, Liv comes out, has a great match with Lacey Morgan, or Lacey Evans, excuse me. And then at the end of the match, I mean, Liv pulled it out. She pulled out a victory, but then as she walks away, then she goes back and just starts attacking Lacey with a chair, wasn't it? And I mean, I said it on Zoom last night. Why is she resorting to heel tactics? Because baby faces don't do that. So
no, exactly.
Yeah. It's like
I don't-
she took out her frustrations with Ronda out on Lacey, and is showing Ronda what she's gonna do to her. And all I could say is,
yeah,
when when you're going against Ronda.
yeah, but we'll see. I mean, we got a good camera view. I mean, the camera work was awesome during that match. I mean, it showed Liv coming off the top. I had never seen that shot before. There was a couple of camera shots that I had never seen before last night. We made a comment about that on Zoom last night. Also, Front Row pointed it out.
Yes.
So yeah, I'm excited to see that match between Liv and Ronda at Extreme Rules. That match did get me more invested in the match for sure. I was glad to see Lacey in there. Lacey, we hadn't seen much of her lately, but I'm glad to see her back on.
I'm glad to see Liv doing this, because I was getting tired of the baby boo boo crybaby face she makes in the ring, getting her butt kicked. Come on
Yeah.
out and kick butt. You have
Yeah.
the support, you have the fan base. I mean, the
She's a
support of
champion.
the universe supports her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she is a force to be reckoned with
Yeah.
as far as the stardom goes. It's just that the
Yep.
in-ring and the other night, whether you call it a heel turn or whatever, brought out a different side of her that was just really a welcome thing for me to see, because I was kind of perplexed.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
wanted
Yeah.
Well,
yes,
and her being a champion,
to kind of leave Ronda.
Yeah. And her being your champion, you would expect your champion to be the person that stands up against all comers and be a fighting champion, not someone who like an underdog kind of thing, like they've been portraying Liv to be. Underdog. I get that going into the match, going into a championship match, but now she's your champion. You want to see your champion be a champion and not still be the underdog. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, that was surprising to see last night from Liv. I want to go real quickly. I want to go to Rampage. We've got a little time left. I want to spend some time talking about the bright side of the ring, um, from our perspective. But I want to talk about the Sting and Darby Allin versus the House of Black, Brody King and Buddy Matthews match last night with
That
Julia
was
Hart at ringside.
insane. Insane. It was a crazy match because that poor grandpa got driven through a table.
Yeah. Not only did he get driven through the table, but he hit his head on the other table that didn't break. And his head hit the table, and I was extremely worried about Sting.
Yes.
Hit
At
the
his
table
age,
hard
taking
enough to crack the table.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
At his age, taking those types of bumps. 62 years old, taking those kind of bumps.
I'm like, dude, slow down.
It's crazy.
Like,
And then not only Sting taking a bump, but Julia Hart took a nasty bump last night as well.
Yeah.
It was bad.
She overshot the table and hit the concrete, and I think she might even hit the barricade.
The barricade and all, yeah.
Yeah.
So
her body, upper body should have gone through the table, but it was her lower body that went through the table.
Yeah.
She kind of
So
propelled herself.
I don't know if she pushed off the ropes wrong. She should have maybe fell back and she pushed off.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's any number of things that could have happened. That's not for us to speculate.
Right.
Yeah.
But the fact is, she took that chance, and man, I hope she's going to be okay.
Yeah. Well, on Twitter last night, Brody King put out a tweet that said that she was okay. So I did see that on Twitter. I think it was last night or this morning. So she is okay.
Yeah.
But it was just scary looking on TV. And to backtrack just for a second, Front Row corrected me and kept me honest. Liv attacked Lacey with a kendo stick, not a chair.
Okay.
And Lacey posted the after photos on her back on Twitter. So go check them out. Thank you, Front Row.
But that tag match was a crazy, insane way to open up.
And the high spot of the match, the one and only Great Muta returned to help Sting out. He walked to the ring, or the lights went out. The lights come back on. There's Muta in the ring, or Muta's entrance, and Muta comes down, gets in the ring, walks towards Sting. Buddy Matthews is like looking around, like, what the hell's going on here? Muta walks directly.
Moves out the way. Moves out the way because he thinks he's going after Sting.
Yeah, Sting was handcuffed to the chair. He's sitting in a chair, handcuffed. Muta turns around with Sting to his back and attacks Buddy Matthews, and then blows the green mist in Buddy Matthews' face. The crowd popped. I was so happy to see the great Muta. I haven't seen him in years. I know he's wrestling. He's actively wrestling in Japan right now.
He's on his last final run.
Yeah.
He's 59.
Last hurrah.
59 years old and still wrestling.
Yeah. And speaking of last runs, thank you, RA. But my good friend Sonny Ono posted on Facebook last night that Sting has been announced to go to Japan for the Great Muta final match, January the 22nd of next year. And from what it looks like, from what I'm reading, there's not very many details, but he has been announced to go to Japan to probably team up with Great Muta in a tag match. I don't think they're wrestling each other. I think it's going to be a tag match and opponents to be named later. But I'm so happy for that because Sting is one of the Great Muta's greatest adversaries. Sting and Great Muta had some historic matches in WCW and NWA.
Oh my God!
In the past,
clinics.
Happy to see the Great Muta last night.
We will be very lucky if we get to see the Red Mist, and if anybody really pisses him off, the Black Mist.
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
yeah.
La Greca and Tommy Dreamer would pop if they saw the Black Mist, because that's from the bile from the bottom of your stomach.
Yeah.
That burns, man. That burns your eyeballs out.
And if that happens, you'll be in the shit.
Jesse will be happy to hear that. I know Jesse's not watching right now, but what's up, Jesse? So anyway, Rampage was a great night last night. All in all, it put a exclamation mark on a very good week of professional wrestling. I mean, there's just so much wrestling to watch, and more to come with the impending Ring of Honor TV deal. I saw Front Row type in the chat earlier. He would like to see it go on a streaming service, Discovery Plus or something like that. So,
Amazon was brought up. Amazon Prime was brought up as well.
Yep.
Yeah. Amazon's doing really good with the NFL right now, so that's something to keep our eye on.
But you brought up Tony. You brought up Tony. You brought up the Jericho being the champion of Ring of Honor. And now you could have Danielson maybe come over to the Ring of Honor side and defend Ring of Honor's honor. Of of him being there all those years and coming back to Ring of Honor and facing Jericho. Like, hey, Chris, don't you remember that I actually was a Ring of Honor guy as well? And he could, take on Jericho at some point down the line for the Ring of Honor title.
That's a good point, Steven. I could see that as well.
Yep.
Brian Danielson was one of the Ring of Honor. He was there originals, one of the originals there. So along with CM Punk. So yeah, that would be a good story.
Yep. Christopher Daniels.
Yep. AJ Styles.
Yep.
There's definitely some point in time where the BCC are all going to be having draping gold over their friggin' shoulders. There's going to be at some point.
Right.
It will happen.
So So great week of professional wrestling. And like I said at the beginning of the show, yesterday on Busted Open, Thunder and Dave devoted the whole show to the bright side of professional wrestling, the bright side of the ring. I've got a hashtag out there. It's called the bright side of the ring. So, I wanted to talk about our perspective on what we've got going on in our lives that we want to shine a light on as well. So, RA, we'll start with you.
Don't really have a lot. I'm in the middle of Oklahoma, so not much going on here. but I am trying to get a tie-dye shop up and going, so
Good deal.
maybe I can
That's awesome, man.
start putting tie-dye shirts out. I haven't put tie-dye shirts out in 11 years. I haven't done tie-dye in 11 years, but
Okay.
I've known how to do it since 08, so.
That's awesome, man. Good luck with all that. I know that you've got a whole crew behind you in support. I know that. So we'd like to see that happen. Good job, man. Steven, how about you?
Man, if I'm not playing music and learning new songs and all of that stuff, I'm going to concerts, and just enjoying life, man. And ever since Dad has been home since June 27th of 2022, a couple months ago. Man, it's been a wild ride, these past 3 to 4 months, and I really don't know where I will be without you guys. I mean, all of you guys. I mean, you, Tony, R.A., Elder, Steve, Christina, Ashley, Deb. I mean, I can go down the line, all of y'all. Just every one of y'all in this group has really, really gotten me through, such a dark time, and he's been home and he's doing excellent. He's working again. He's, his stamina's getting back there, and he's really, really, really getting around great. Is
he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Steve,
doing he's doing great. We've been traveling together the last couple of weeks, going to shows and stuff, and just making memories, man. And 2022, even though 22 is not over by any stretch, but this year has taught me one thing: to love and appreciate your family and your friends and the people that mean the most to you in life, because you never know. You never know when it could be the last time you speak to that person.
Yeah. You're right, Steven. We're not guaranteed tomorrow.
Well said, my brother. Well said.
Yep. Yeah.
Now,
Mongrovian, how about you, brother?
Now shut up.
What?
You fucking jabroni, always crying, moaning. What about me? Hulk Hogan never gave me that rematch, that jabroni. Fuck.
Well, I tell you what, you mealy mouth bastard. You keep complaining. Oh, Steve Austin is going to come to Iran or wherever the hell you're from, and I'll stop a moto in your ass and walk it dry.
You just listen to me, Mr. Goldstone. You Austin, you better stay in Texas, you son of a bitch. You come to Iran, you will know what it means to be a real jabroni.
But I tell you what, you son of a bitch, I've been a real champion. Unlike you, you're more like a transitional champion. Like
I held that belt. And the Hulk Hogan come to me, he said, "Shiki, baby, you do me the favor. You put me over, baby. I'll do you the favor later." That jabroni never came back.
Well, it's obviously your connection sucks.
Macho Man, that son of a bitch, Macho Man. Elizabeth, I love that Elizabeth. It reminds me of that David the Greco, that fucking jabroni. And then you got the lovely Violetta. She's so lovely. I don't know why she puts up with that fucking guy in those orange fucking jabroni orthopedic shoes. How do you see that shit in that guy? But he's a good baba.
Oh, man.
I just want to say, I just want to say one thing. If we're going to talk positivity, we have to bring up, there is one person that we need to bring up over this whole group of people. And that includes for the Busted Open, what he does for Busted Open, what he does for us in the Nation's Corner, and what he does for all of us as an individual friend. He's a mensch. But right now, he's a fucking jabroni for sticking this on my car. This goes out to Scott. Scott in Long Island. You son of a bitch! I'm glad I made you pay for my meal, you fucker. I love you, man. I love you and the family. That's positivity. You know what? 2 years ago,
Scott under the bus. That's fantastic.
now I want to just be serious. 2 years ago, I got on a Zoom call with a bunch of people I didn't know. They look like a bunch of fucking maniacs, but I stuck with them. They're kind of annoying still, but they kind of grew on me like a fungus. I love this group of people, and there is nothing that anybody in this group won't do for anybody. And sometimes people rub each other the wrong way, and they don't connect with each other. And we're gonna make sure that this group of everybody, the 27, 28, whatever there is of us, we're all
we
here
don't need to
for
do
each
another
other.
27 club. There's already one of those.
No, oh, no, the hell with that.
No,
But I'm gonna leave it to Tony, because I think Tony's got some really sage words of advice and friendship and love. And
Yeah.
Tony is one of the heartbeats of this group, and he struggles at times because we drive him crazy. But let's go.
I love y'all, all of y'all, man. Y'all are. We are affectionately called the crew. All of us. We all came into each other's lives 2 years ago, March of 2020. When the pandemic first happened and Busted Open wasn't on the air because they know what was going on. And I remember that. Y'all remember when Dave got on Twitter and tried to do a video on Twitter, and he had his screen turned all sideways and didn't know how to flip it or whatever, and he was having problems with his connection and all that stuff. But that 5 minutes or 10 minutes that he was on Twitter that day, it kind of reached out to all of us, that we realized that Busted Open is like our heartbeat. We listen to it affectionately every day. I mean, I cannot miss a single word.
It doesn't feel like a complete day unless you've listened to it.
No. I used to listen to Howard Stern every morning, and now I listen to Busted Open, and I don't listen to Howard Stern anymore. Busted Open has become my go-to every day, because I drive every day and I have it on, and I plan my loads, plan my routes to where when I get up, I'll get up 30 minutes before so I can get going down the road, and I'm in my driver's seat and on the road, ready for Busted Open to come on. And then to be connected with a group of people that listen to Busted Open just like I do, and love professional wrestling like I do, and even rejuvenated my love for professional wrestling. Because being around like-minded people like we are, that they love professional wrestling, and they turn you on to different things about wrestling and collectibles and all that stuff. I mean, Mongrovian Mike is sitting in his man cave right now with, if y'all could just see what he's got behind him, y'all would be amazed. All of you would be amazed at what he's got.
The man has everything.
Yeah. And I've patterned my man cave in my house, trying to equal. Well, hell, I didn't mean to drive him away.
There he is.
But yeah, I've patterned my collectible room at home, kind of like, because Chad has one as well. Chad has got an amazing man cave, and I've had the pleasure of hanging out there, hanging out with Mongrovian Mike. I mean, I've had the pleasure of being able to connect with a lot of people in our crew, because I'm a truck driver. That's what I do. I drive everywhere. If I need to go somewhere, like Baltimore, for instance, coming up mid-October, I'm just taking a load there. I'm still working, but I'm getting to go have fun while I'm working, which is awesome. And not everybody can do that. But we've had the opportunities to get to hang out with different people. I have, at least. And some people aren't as lucky, because flights are out of this world, expensive and all that. But the one thing that keeps our group going is the fact that if someone's getting to do something with someone else in the group, we're happy for them. We're living through them. Like, go, awesome. That's awesome. Like Mongrovian and Scott and Neil got together yesterday for lunch. That was awesome. I mean, I was happy for them because anytime that we get to see each other, it's a blessing. And this group of people.
I saw this.
Yeah. This group of people have helped us through some storms. I'm telling you, we've gone through some storms in this group, but we've weathered them together. And I mean, I come on sometimes and I'm beaten down by the world out here. I'm beaten down by stuff going on in my personal life or whatever. And who do I turn to? My freaking family. My family, my crew. This group of people have become a family, close. I mean, we started off as Zoom, Discord, Twitter, just talking back and forth on there. And look where we're at now. We're on Zoom every night. We watch wrestling every night together. And I could not imagine my life without y'all. And I mean, we've had things happen within our group where we've had to stand up for each other and like we worry about these people. We care about these people. If someone you love or someone close to you in a group of wherever, check on those people. Make sure they're okay. Because everyone deserves to have an army like we've got behind us. Everyone in this world deserves to have people behind them to support them like this group does for each other. And I'm not putting ourselves over anybody else. This is just my words of positivity from what I experienced with my friends, my family. And I wish that every one of y'all could experience the same things because it's amazing. It's an amazing feeling to have a group of people behind you. So thank you very much, Nation.
Wonderful.
Thank you very much for my crew.
Yep.
I don't know what life would be like without y'all. So Dave, I know I've told you this
David,
many times. I've told you this in
David,
person. I've told you this. I think Elder's having connectivity issues, but let's get him back on here.
I'm sorry.
Hey,
I just wanted to say, David Mitchell, are you the gentleman I met at the wrestling event today in Ronkonkoma? Just give me a yes or no if you can through the.
He's from Wichita, I believe.
From
so
Wichita. Okay, so it's just great. Because I was talking to someone today too as well. But it's just great that we see people. We got a new member. That's all it takes. One a day, one a minute, one. It doesn't matter. Let's just do this. But no, David, it's a pleasure meeting you.
Yeah. Pleasure meeting you, David. We'll look forward to talking to you some more soon.
We'll talk to you on a.
It was nice having you in the chat for the show.
But one more thing I'd like to point out to kind of tie my message up in a little bow. Dave LaGreca, you know what you mean to me and you know what you mean to us. We've gotten to tell you this many times in person when we've seen you out and about. You are the one that brought us all together. And we thank you every day for what you've done for professional wrestling in general. Because they always say, is there life out there? Is there life on other planets or whatever? Well, is there life out there? Is there groups out there like us that have connected like we have? Are there other groups out there that's done the same thing? I'd be interested to hear those stories because it's amazing. It's just amazing. So, Dave, thank you for making the dark times of this world and the pandemic and all that so bright. Because the pandemic may have been doom and gloom for many, but it brought me my family. So, and I'll say that to the day I die. So that is the love and affection that we do all the time. So this is for all of you and our crew. Thank y'all very much. And I want to close out. How can people reach y'all on the socials? Steven, how about you?
Man, if I'm not doing this show with y'all coming through the bullpen, Mr. Clutch doing what he does and helping out being a team player, you can follow me on Twitter at Steven_Wyand. And if I'm not helping out with y'all on this great show, The Nation's Corner, I am also on Tuesdays on our Nation Sports Show live every single Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 Central, 4 p.m. Pacific. You can also follow us on Twitter at ON_Sports Show. We also have a Facebook page. It's facebook.com/Nation Sports Show. And also on YouTube, like, share, subscribe. to youtube.com/Our Nation Sports Show. Right now, we are up to 105 subscribers and are having a lot of fun talking about the wild, insane NFL season so far, and going to be recapping all of the games from week 3 and giving our predictions for week 4 and all the news stories in the NBA and MLB and whatever the hell happens in sports. We got you covered. And I always enjoy coming on this show with y'all and talking wrestling. And man, Tony, I tell you what, man, that was a very powerful message you just said, brother.
Thanks, brother. It's from the heart. Anything from the heart is you can't go wrong when it's from the heart. So I appreciate you.
Yep.
All right. How can people follow you on the socials?
Hi, almost every social you can find me at Dead Ahead RA. If you're a Grateful Dead fan, you know what that means. So
I would say gimmick infringement, but no, I'll give you that one. Mongrovian, how can people find you on the socials?
Well, you can find me at Mongrovian Mike. You can find me on the socials just like that, Mongrovian Mike. I'm there. Join the Discord. Yell at me because I piss off a lot of people there. Sorry.
You did right. You do.
You and Deb. That is on the shows off, but okay, Michael. I just think I'd give a shout out to people. Shout out to Mitch Hastel, HastelToys.com. It's in Canton, Ohio, but you could get him on, DM him, join it on Instagram. He has a ton of collectibles, wrestling memorabilia and stuff. Go there. And I just want to say, listen to Busted Open. Watch Mission Pro Wrestling. I want to shout out to my boy Brian. Love you, bro. Shout out to Thunder. And can't wait to see everybody soon.
Yeah.
And
speaking of Mission Pro, there was a bunch of us going down to Texas, San Antonio, Texas, December 10th for Silver Bells 2. Mission Pro is having a show called Silver Bells 2, and I know me and Front Row and Mrs. Front Row and RA, Money Mark, his son Loose Change, Garza and his beautiful wife Robin, and Neil I think's going, Trenda's going, Hijacker. So yeah, we're gonna have a big group of us down there, having fun and supporting Mission Pro Wrestling. So we've had the liberty of sponsoring Mission Pro. I think Front Row said 3 years ago we started our partnership with Mission Pro, and they've made us feel like family, and that is the damn truth.
Could someone say 3 years?
3 years.
3 years. 3 years.
You know what? If you don't watch Mission Pro, Beavis and Butthead got something to say to you.
You dumbass.
Yeah, take it from Butthead there. You can follow me at Tony Justice AJFA, and Ari, this is how it goes. And if you're a Metallica fan, you know what that means. Ooh. And you can follow us as a show at Nation's Corner on Twitter, and all others, the Nation's Corner. So for RA, for Steven, and for Mongrovian Mike, I am Tony Justice, and we are out of here. Y'all have a great night.
Sesame Brothers.